AJ Chambers has been dedicated to servicing the UK legal practice market with the talent requirements for over 5 years, replicating our service for the accountancy practice sector for the previous decade. During this time, we have built an unrivaled network and understanding of the market in London, the South East and home counties, from partner relationships, practice sizes, client-based profiles, services provided, fees and the working culture of those practices. I myself have spent 10 years within the banking industry, in addition to many years consulting on various transactions, from MBOs, commercial transactions and acquisitions in a variety of sectors and different territories. This combination of commercial experience and industry knowledge place us in a unique position to assist our clients with their growth strategies and exit plans. As your trusted advisor in such transactions, we strongly believe it is your firm, your clients, and your legacy, and that underpins everything that we do. Every process is different, but ultimately we have a generic framework from which we work within these transactions. First of all, there is an initial brief of information. We then have signing of NDAs, which allows us to disclose the name of both buyer and seller. If there is a want to move forward at this point, we hold an initial meeting. After the initial meeting, if there is a general consensus which all parties are positive about exploring further, we then share and furnish additional information and financials to both parties. Once the buyer has had the opportunity to digest this information and they are wishing to explore this further, we have an indicative offer at this stage. If the indicative offer is accepted, we then look to draft heads of terms. This allows us to have a document in place which we are able to move forward from, setting out the framework of how the deal would look like from structure and other variables. After this point, there is due diligence carried out, where forensic analysis is carried out by the buyer. If the buyer is happy after due diligence is completed, we then move to drawing up of contracts or an SPA, a sale purchase agreement. The document will have all the framework about how the structure will look and how a deal will be closed, including a completion date. Upon the agreed completion date, the transaction concludes successfully. People do not often realise it is the intangibles rather than the tangibles that cause issues in transactions such as this. That is why it's important for us as consultants to remain involved every step of the way through the process. It is even more crucial that the goodwill is maintained between buyer and seller throughout the process. So if any difficult conversations or potential contentious conversations need to be had or addressed, us as consultants will have those conversations for you. So revenue sizes, team sizes or practice sizes vary from deal to deal. We work with international law firms through to smaller boutiques and sole practitioners. In monetary terms, this means from your 200,000 turnover all the way up to your multi-million of pounds. Pleasingly for sellers, COVID-19 hasn't had a detrimental effect on business valuations within the sector. We are seeing them remain at pre-pandemic levels. However, we are increasingly seeing deals completed on an earn-out or deferred consideration basis, rather than with some form of upfront consideration built in as well. This depends on the buyer's risk appetite, what they perceive the risk is to protect their investment, i.e. the revenue and the client base they are looking to integrate. In terms of activity levels are extremely high for various reasons. Many partners have reflected on their life over the last 12 or 18 months and what is important to them. Often, retirement plans are being expedited now. In addition to this, succession planning is a huge issue for many practices, along with further pressures on smaller firms in relation to PI insurance premium increases eating into their profits. My advice, speak to someone like ourselves as soon as you can. It does not matter if your retirement plans are 3 to 5 years ahead, or as a younger partner growing your business, you see in the future the need to merge with a larger firm for all the benefits of greater resources and infrastructure. It is good to speak with us now so we can help you prepare your business for sale or discuss and advise suitable partner firms to merge with as your new home. We can also, at this time, start to hold discussions with buyers to start courting them who may be looking at their growth strategies and have you as an acquisition or merger in their plans going forward. We can also make sure that all the considerations you will have to look at beforehand are covered and that you feel comfortable when the time comes. This is such a broad question and one that I would not be able to answer fully in this video. However, what I can say, the headlines are making sure your financials and internal financial reportings are all in order, making sure that in your mind you have your ideal exit or wants from a merger, i.e. how long you want to stay around for, what your role would look like going forward, and ultimately what consideration you're wishing to achieve. Additionally, ensuring internal controls are in order. So this would be your client files, compliance matters, and employment contracts. And finally, an important message: every business has its own complications and nuances. Transparency and honesty is key right from the very start, so that we as consultants can navigate these or unpick these issues, ensuring that every step of the way through this process runs as smoothly as possible. No. So both on buy and sell side, there are no exclusivity clauses as such. However, when we make a formal introduction between parties, the acquirer or dominant party is locked into an exclusivity in relation to that particular party introduced for a period of 18 months. Often our clients will use a blend of finance or borrowing, as well as their own cash reserve to acquire or complete transactions. We here at AJ Chambers are unable to offer financial help. However, we do have a great network of finance houses or other lenders which we'll be able to introduce to you. The same can be said for business protection insurances that may be required for your existing business or moving forward. We work closely with some knowledgeable and experienced advisors in this space to whom we would be happy to introduce you to.